Hello everyone, this is Mr. Nice Guy, and in this video you will learn how to remember prefixes. So this table is probably familiar to you. You have 1 here, and if we move up, we stumble upon kilo, followed by mega, and finally a wild Rigi Giga will appear. If we go south, we will encounter decicenti, milli, micro, and nano. So how do we go about memorizing them? Like Giga is 10 to the power of what? And nano is 10 to the power of negative what? The trick is, actually you doesn't have to remember anything. Instead, rely on your existing knowledge to work it out. So let me start from meter to giga first to show you how you can go about doing it. Every one of you should probably know that 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meter. But then you will probably get stuck there, because you never encountered mega or giga meter before. It doesn't matter. Let's talk about computer and handphone instead. If you don't know what is a computer or a handphone, just look at the device you are watching this video with and say hi to it. Hi! If you know something about computer, you probably heard of storage space and GB, and perhaps KB and MB. The same goes for handphone and the micro SD card you use for them. Unless you are an iFeel user, then you probably don't know what's a micro SD card, which also comes in GB. Basically, those KB, MB, and GB stands for storage space. It's very simple. Kilobytes, megabytes, and gigabytes. So 1000 bytes is equals to 1 kilobytes. 1000 kilobytes is equals to 1 megabytes, and 1000 megabytes is equals to 1 gigabytes. So very simple. If you want to find out how many times is 1 gigabyte when compared to 1, all we have to do is to multiply 1 by 1000, then multiply by 1000 again, and finally multiply by 1000 for the third time. So it's actually very simple to remember if you do it step by step, rather than remembering is 10 to the power of 9 rubbish. Next, we shall move to units that are smaller than 1 meter. Let us talk about deci, centi, and milli first, before we move on to micro and nano, because all of you are probably more familiar with the first 3. Alright, I'm going to teach 2 methods. The first is the best way, but it might not be the easiest way for little kids. The best way is to see deci, centi, and milli as the opposite of decade, century, and millenniums. Decade is 10 years, century is 100, and millenniums is 1000 years. So deci will be 10 times less than 1, centi is 100 times less than 1, while milli is 1000 times less than 1. This might be the best way, but it might not be the easiest way to remember for little kids. So the easiest way is probably use knowledge that we already know. We know that 1 cm is 100 times less than 1 meter, and 1 millimeter is 10 times less than 1 centimeter. So there you go, their relationship. If you forget how many millimeter is 1 cm, you can always cheat legally by referring to your long woody ruler to see how many millimeter is 1 cm. If you want a more direct way, it will be 1 liter is equals to 1000 milliliter. So milli is 1000 times less than 1. While for deci, there is decimeter, which you have not learned yet. So you just have to remember deci as 10 times less. As for micro and nano, m comes before n. So if we goes down from 1, we will meet up with m first, which is micro, then we will meet up with n, which is nano. And they are 10 to the power of negative 6 and 10 to the power of negative 9, lesser than 1 respectively. This means micro has 6 0 in front of 1 and nano have 9 0 in front of 1. I don't think I have to waste time teaching all secondary school kids how to remember negative 6 and negative 9, because all of you are bloody immature. So with this, I will conclude this video lesson. And in the next video, you will learn about conversion of units.